All right. Yeah, good evening. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Shafik Ismail. I'm an IT support instructor at Piscolas, a wonderful nonprofit organization that provides free IT training across the USA. So, with 40 years of experience in the IT world, primarily from a mainframe background, I am now actively exploring PC landscape. Okay. Um, I do have a number of years in the PC industry. I wouldn't say years, but I do have about 2.5 to 3 years. Okay, that's nothing compared to the mainframe experience that I have. But right now, I currently teach the CompTIA A IT Support course, helping our learners prepare for their Core 1 and Core 2 certifications. This is a highly recommended course. Okay. In fact, I'd say it's essential for anyone aspiring to start a career in the IT. For my current class, which is Cycle 47, hey, Cycle 47. And for all of you watching, I've put together a special resource to tackle one of the more challenging and often confusing areas of the A plus curriculum. Okay. And that is Linux and security. So I've set up a 40 question multiple choice course focused on Linux basics, the Linux shell, and basic security tools. So get ready to test your knowledge. So to make the most of it, please feel free to pause the video after I read each question to give yourself time to come up with the answer before I reveal it. So I know having a hard copy is helpful. So I've made this quiz available in a convenient PDF format for you to use for study or review. If you'd like a copy, please simply leave a request in the comment section below. Okay, I'll be monitoring the comments and sharing the PDF via a secure link or method I provide directly in a reply or through the platform's direct messaging features if it's available. So let's get started. All right, enough talking. Grab a notepad, settle in, and let's get this quiz started. Good luck, everybody. Okay, so we're looking at question number 1. Okay. And this is section 1, which is the Linux basic shell and security tools. All right. Number 1. Which of the following best describes a Linux distribution, which is called a distro? Or is it the original Linux kernel that was created in 1991? Or B, a version of the Linux kernel package with customized tools and software by an organization? Or C, the proprietary source code for the Linux operating system? Or D, a package manager used to install new software? I'll give you a second to think about it. Okay. And the answer is B. Okay. So hopefully this, I'm going to try and highlight it as we go along, and I will then be able to give you the PDF with the highlight, or I'm thinking of probably giving you a separate. Now, I will do it, and I'll give you a separate piece towards the bottom of the PDF with all the answers, okay? All right. But for in this case, what I'll do is just for the video, I will highlight the answer, all right? Like so. And we'll make that a different color, like orange. How does that look? Okay. All right. And then question number 2. Okay, question number 2. What is a primary reason Linux is often the operating system of choice in a security operations center, which is a SOC? Is it the only operating system that can run network analysis tools? Or B, it has a powerful and user-friendly graphical user interface? C, the entire operating system can be tailored to become the perfect security analysis platform? Or D, it requires expensive specialized hardware to run securely? Okay, and the answer is C. Okay, so the answer for this is because Linux is a highly valued in the SOCA world because it's flexible and it's open source and it's also allows to be entirely customized and tailored for security analysis, making it lean and efficient. Okay. All right. Question number 3. Which Linux distribution is specifically mentioned as grouping many penetration testing software tools, or rather testing tools together? Is that and is it and that should be like so. Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, or Kali? Which ones of those 4? Okay. And the answer is Kali Linux tool. That's the one. Okay. Excuse me, guys. So we're going to, this is going to be the next question. Okay. Question number 4. I'm sorry about that. Okay. The administrator user in Linux is known by which of the following terms, giving them absolute power over the computer? Is that an analyst, super user or root user, a standard user, or a kernel user? So those are the keywords. Administrator, so that would be a super user or root user. Okay. And that would be the answer for that. Okay. So the Windows system in Linux is primarily designed to provide the basic framework for which component? The command line interface, which is called the CLI, the graphics user interface, which is GUI, the network protocol stack, or the kernel communication? And the answer is the GUI. Okay. That is the answer, my friends. So why would that be? Is because the X Windows system, which is the X11, it provides a basic framework, which includes drawing windows and interacting with input devices for the GUI. Okay. All right. Which command is used to display or configure network card related information in Linux? Is it the iwconfig, or B, the apt-get? Is it the ifconfig or the cat? And the answer is ifconfig. That is related to Linux. Okay. So the ifconfig command is used to display or configure information related to the network cards, like you have in Windows, which is the IP config. But in Linux, it's the ifconfig. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Let's get on to the next question. An administrator wants to view the contents. Okay, look at the keywords of a text file named config.txt without editing it, okay? Which command is the most appropriate? Is it the mv config text.new.txt? Is it the cat config.txt? Is it the change mod 777 config.txt? Or is it pwd? And the answer is cat. That is the command, guys, to be able to view a file. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at, okay, so what does MV do? MV is actually a move, right? So which is like moving from one direction to another, or maybe changing a name. All right. So it's actually changing and renaming. That's a command used in Linux. Okay, cat is to look at any particular file without any kind of modification to it. The chmod is to change the permissions, all right, for a particular file. And that particular one says give access to that file to everybody, okay? And the 777 is very important. Try and understand why it's 777 and what other numbers can be in there to give you the information that you need, the permissions that are allowed. All right. Do a little bit of research on Google or AI or wherever you want to, or any other videos. Okay. Do a little bit because that's definitely going to be in the exam. Okay. And then, of course, the PWD is to tell the system as to where you are, and that should be able to give you a status of where you are in the Linux hierarchy. All right. So the answer here for this is B, cat. All right. Okay, let's have a look at the next question. Which command is used to change the ownership of a file in Linux? What are we looking for? Ownership. Notice that is in bold. Okay. Is it chmod? Is it chown? Is it mv? Or is it su? And the answer is CHON. Yes. And the CHON is just short for change owner. Okay, that's what it is. So it's specifically used to change the ownership of a file or a directory. Okay, all right. chmod is to change the permissions. So don't be confused with chmod and chown. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next question. A user wants to find all lines containing the string error within a large log file, okay? And these log files can be big. So which command is best suited for this search task? Is it ls, cat, grep, or ps? And the answer is grep, yes. And why is it grep? Because grep is used to search for specific strings of characters within a file or any other output. Okay, it's like a find in Windows. Okay, so grep is used in Linux. Okay, all right, let's get on to the next one. What is the command line utility used to display documentation or the manual page for a specific command in Linux, how would you pick up all the details on that particular command? Which command are you going to be used to come with a help screen? That's basically what it's asking us. Do you use the help? Do you use man or docs or sudo? And your answer is yes, man. Okay, and man is short for manual. Basically, that's where it started from. Okay, so in Linux, if you want to look at a particular command to display the online documentation for it, for a specific command, you use man. Okay, all right, let's go on to question 10. Which command is used on Debian and its derivatives, like Ubuntu, to update the local package database, with the latest package list from a repository? Okay, let's go through the question again. Which command is used on Debian and its derivatives, like Ubuntu, to update the local package database with the latest package list from a repository? Is it apt install, apt get update, apt get upgrade, pacman, syy? And the answer is, yep, you guessed it, apt get update. Okay. So, and the reason for that is because what the update actually does, it update command retrieves the latest package list from the repository. Repository is a library and updates the local package database in Debian or Ubuntu systems. Okay. So that will go out to the server, pick up the latest information, and it will download, and all that information will be updated on your local machine. Okay. All right. Who said Pac-Man? Okay, next question. To execute a single command with super user privileges, okay? Look at those keywords, super user privileges. By default, an administrator would use which prefix command? Okay. And what's your answer? If you said sudo, you are absolutely correct. Okay. The sudo command is used to run a command as a super user, which is normally from the root, okay, a root user by default. All right. So sudo gives you all the privileges to do whatever you want as an administrator. That's what that is. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Which command is used to list the processes currently running in the system at the time it is invoked, providing a snapshot? Providing a snapshot. Not updating it, but just a snapshot. All right, let's see if you got this one right. Is it top? Is it kill? Is it PS? Or is it DF? And the answer is, yeah, PS. Of course it's PS. Why is it not top? Because top does something similar, right? What does PS do? PS, which is a process status command that lists the processes running on the computer at the time it is invoked. And it provides a static snapshot. All right, don't forget that. It's a static snapshot. It doesn't keep on updating. Okay. Whereas top would normally continuously updated every second. Okay, it gives you the latest, and then it comes back again and it does a refresh and so on and so forth. But what is static is PS, okay? Because that is a snapshot. All right, let's go on to the next one. What character is used in the Linux shell to pipe out the output of one command into the input of another command? So basically, you're doing two commands, but it's using the output from one command and using that to be able to do something in the second command, okay? Which character is used? Is it the ampersand? Is it the double greater than sign? Is it the vertical sign? Or is it the less than sign? And the answer is the vertical bar. That's it. That's the one. I'm sorry. Wrong color. We got it. Okay, that's the vertical bar. Okay. So the vertical bar is called a pipe operator. And it's used to feed the output of one command into the input into the next command. Okay. All right. Let's go on to the next question. What command is used to display the name of the current working directory? Current working directory. Is it ls or cd or pwd or mkdir? And the answer is, and we've been through it a little earlier today, on one of the earlier questions, I just mentioned that. That gives you PWD, tells you exactly what your current directory is in the hierarchy of all the files, okay? So the PWD, which really stands for print working directory, okay, is a command that displays the name of the current directory you are in, okay? All right, you know what the rest of the commands are. Make sure you understand them. The ls is just a list. The cd is to change directory. The pwd is to print the working directory where you are right now. And mkdir is to make a directory, a new directory. All right, let's go ahead. Which three permissions are represented by the octal value 7? It's always 7. You've heard that many times, right? Is represented by the octal value 7 in a Linux file permission. Is it A, read, write, and execute? Or is it read, write, and no access? Is it read, no access, and execute? Or is it read only? And the answer is, and if you've done this, it should be an easy one, guys, okay? And the answer is A, read, write, and execute, okay? So let me explain a few details over here. Now in read, write, and execute, the octal value 7 corresponds to the binary, which is for the three values for read, write, and execute. The read has a value of 4, the write has a value of 2, and the execute has a value of 1. So if you add 4 plus 2 plus 1, that gives you 7. And that's how you get to that octal value of 7. If you see 7 as the permission for a particular file, that means that that particular file, everybody has access to it, okay? For read, write, and execute, okay? All right. And let's go on to the next question. If in the output of the ls-l command, if the first character, which one? The first character of the permissions field is a dash, what does it indicate? Is it a directory? Is it a special file? Is it a regular file? Or is it a symbolic link? Okay, remember the ls-l? Okay, that comes up with a list of all the different files and directories, right? That first character in the permissions field. Okay, if that is a dash, what does it mean? And the answer is, yep, you are right. It's a regular file. Okay, the dash is a regular file. Okay, do a little bit of research on that, okay, and see what the difference is between a regular file and a directory, okay, and try and understand what the rest of the characters are, and that would be your permissions, which is a read, write, and execute permissions. All right, okay. Let's go on to the next question. What is the purpose of the swap file system in Linux? Which one? Swap file. That's what we're looking for. What is the purpose of it? Is it to store kernel ring buffer messages? Is it to provide file access over the network? Is it used by Linux when it runs out of RAM? Or is it to store system configuration file? Okay. So hopefully this has given you some kind of a clue, the swap file. Okay? You got the answer? And the answer is the C. Because when Linux runs out of memory, it uses a swap file. It's a space on the disk that is on like virtual memory. It's used when the physical RAM is exhausted. Okay. All right. Don't forget that. All right. Let's go ahead. Question number 18. What command is used to change the permissions, read, write, and execute of a file or directory? Which is the one? I've mentioned it previously. Let's see if you wrote it down, took notes about it, or remember it. Okay. Is it CHOWN? Is it CHMOD? Is it MV? Or is it MAN? And the answer is B. Yes, sir. All right. chmod, which is change mode, is used to modify the permissions. Okay. Remember we did CHOWN previously? That's to change the ownership. Okay. All right. Next question. Which extended file system, a successor to EX3? Ever heard of EX3? Well, EX3 is the file type used in Linux. Okay. So which extended file system, which is a successor to ext3, was created based on a series of extension and is known for features like extents and a larger file size? And what's it called? Is it called ext2? Is it called NFS? Is it called APFS? Or is it ext4? Well, the logical sequence would be ext4. Yeah, that's it. So from ext3, ext4 supersedes it now, and that handles larger files. Okay. And better performance. Definitely better performance. Okay. Next question. Which type of link is described as having a single point of failure? What we're looking at, single point of failure, but can link to a file in another file system or to a directory and shows the location of the original file when listed with the ls-l. Is it a hard link? Is it a soft link? Is it a symbolic link? Or is it both B and C? Right? What do you think the answer would be? It's a single point of failure, but it can link to another file. And that is the symbolic link. Yes. And if you've done any kind of mainframe work before, and you've worked on JCL, you have symbolic characters, but really replaces original files. So it works very similar to it in Linux, okay? So the symbolic character, it can link across file system directories, but it shows the original file's location. And it's totally useless if the original file has been deleted, okay? Then that symbolic file notation is completely useless because it's going to point to nothing because that file has been deleted, okay? Wouldn't know where that file is, all right? Okay, so the next question. In the ls-l output, what is the second set of characters? Example, the rw-represent, okay? The set of 3 characters, represent. And we said the second set, remember, read the question carefully. We're looking at the second set. So in one set, how many characters are there in the permissions? 3 in one set. What are they? Read, write, and execute, which would be the owner. And then you get another set, which would be the group. So let's look at the kind of question answers we have. Is it permissions for the owner? Or is it permissions for the group? Is it permission for all users? And the number of hard links. So from what we discussed now, we know that the first 3 is for the owner. The next 3 is for the group. And the last 3 is for everyone else. So if we're looking for the second set of 3 characters, that would be the answer. Okay? All right. It's a little difficult to understand how permissions work in Linux, but I tell you, it is absolutely superb once you understand it. And especially with the numbering octal system of 7 and how you get to it, just by one number, you have the total permission structure. In this instance, the RW for the owner, the R says 4. I mean, if you substitute 4 for the R, and we set 2 for the right, and that makes it 6. The octal value for that would be 6, okay? All right. If you don't understand it, go and do a little bit of research, okay? Go ahead. Next question. Which command is used to update all currently installed packages to the latest versions on a Debian or Ubuntu system? Is it the apt-get update, apt-get install, apt-get upgrade, or pacman? What do you say? Look at the clues that we have been given. We've been given the clues, update. So what would be an update? Update would be an upgrade, correct? Okay. And if that is the upgrade that we're looking at there, that must be that answer. All right. All right. So the apt-get upgrade command updates all currently installed packages to the latest versions on Debian Ubuntu systems. It goes out to the server and picks up all the information and updates it. And that is generally done on a regular basis. All right. Okay, so this is the upgrade to update, even though there says update there, but this is the command to use, okay? Question number 3. In Linux, what term refers to a background process? Again, look at this keyword, background process, that runs without the need for user interaction, often performing system tasks. Is it the kernel? Is it shell? Is it a daemon or a process? What do you think? It's a background process, and that is without the need for user interaction, okay? Without the need for user action is a daemon. That's the answer. All right. So a daemon is a background process that runs without the need for user interaction. It will just start off. It will do what it needs to do and it disappears. And if it's scheduled to run again, it will start off on its own. And it will run in the background without you knowing about it. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Which program is a popular Linux-based tool designed to check the computer for known rootkits? All right, rootkits is malware. So for known rootkits, which one would it be? Is it Wireshark? Is it CHK rootkit? Is it Nmap? Or is it SGUIL? And the answer, look at it again. Which one do you think might be close to what it's telling us? Yes, you're right. It's a CHK rootkit, okay? That is a popular Linux-based tool that looks for rootkit malware viruses. All right. And rootkits are normally difficult to find, okay? It's normally embedded in there somewhere, and there are some antivirus software that does not pick up rootkits, okay? So you have a special application that's being created especially to pick out rootkits, viruses, and malware, rather, okay? Okay, next question. When a process calls the fork operation, which of the following is true about the newly created process? It replaces the parent process completely. It becomes the parent process. It is referred to as a child process, or it immediately starts running a different program code than the parent. So, what do you think? And the answer is it is referred to as the child process. Yeah. When a process calls a fork, the newly created process is referred to as its child, and the caller becomes the parent. Okay? All right, so keep that in mind. It's called a fork. Okay, next command. Next question, I beg your pardon. Which command is used to modify the behavior of a specific running process, which can be instructed to remove, restart, or pause it? So which is the one that you can use to stop or or remove it or restart it or pause it. Okay, you use the PS command, the top command, the for command, or the kill command? And the answer is the kill command. Okay, the kill command in Linux is used to modify the behavior. It changes the behavior of that particular task. You can use to remove it completely or restart it or pause it. You can actually pause it too. Okay. All right. Next question. Which command lists the contents of a file and expects the file name as a parameter? Is it grep? Is it cat? Is it mkdir? Or is it dd? So what are we looking for? The contents, okay? Look at those keywords. Contents. Which one do you think it is? Yes, it's cat. All right. The cat command is to list the contents of a file and expects the file name as a parameter. You need to put in the file name after the cat, okay? Next question. Which distribution, Linux distribution, is known for its user-friendliness and uses the GNOME 3 as its default GUI? Is it the Red Hat, Fedora, Ubuntu, or CentOS? Hey, wasn't this question up there in the front somewhere? Anyway, all right. So now we've come to this question. Which Linux distribution is known for its user-friendliness and uses GNOME 3 as the default GUI? What is GUI? Graphics User Interface, right? Is it the Red Hat? Is it the Fedora? Is it the Ubuntu? Or is it CentOS? These are all different distributions for Linux. Remember, Linux is an open source system and they have different variances of Linux. Okay, so which is the one that uses GNOME 3 as the default GUI? And the answer is Ubuntu. That's the one. Okay. So Ubuntu is a popular and very friendly distribution that uses GNOME 3 as its default GUI. If you use the other ones, it might be a little bit more complicated. That's why most people use Ubuntu. Okay. Next question, 29. What term describes a type of malware designed to increase and authorize users' privileges or grant access to software portions that should normally not be allowed? Is it a Trojan? Okay, let's read the question again. Okay. What term describes a type of malware designed to increase an unauthorized user's privilege? So it's changing the user's privilege or grant access to software portions that should normally not be allowed. Is it a Trojan? Is it a worm? Is it a rootkit or is it a virus? What malware will you say that is? All right, there's a clue. I gave you a little bit earlier. It's difficult to find. And the reason for that is because the answer is a rootkit, and the rootkit will change the permissions to give it all the access that it needs. But it would do that for an unauthorized user. It would grant access to software portions and that would normally not be allowed. But with this malware, it will do it. Okay. Okay. We're going to go into section 2 now, which is servers, ports, and administration. So we go on to the next question. Which service is said to be listening on a network port when it has associated itself with that port? Is it a client? Is it a firewall? Is it a daemon or a service? Think about that carefully. All right. And the answer is service. Okay. So a service is said to be listening on a port it has associated with that network resource. So in other words, it will be checking that port to see if there's anything coming into that port to try and associate that with a particular application, all right? And you know how ports generally work. There are more than 65,000 ports, okay, that we know about. We know that there are some well-known ports, around about 30 or 40 that we normally use most times. If we are just going to be surfing the internet and we're not going to be hosting anything, we should only be using about 2 or 3 ports, okay? All right. That should be listening, okay? So, nevertheless, in this instance, it'd be servers, okay? All right. Next question. What is the well-known port number used for the secure shell, SSH? All right. And remember what we said about SSH, okay? That is a secure shell. And a secure shell would be port number. Yeah, you guessed it. That is the answer, 22. If you do not remember these port numbers, there is a YouTube video that's going to help you. And the way that I remember it is I remember this with that video. It says secure shell, right? Which means that it's encrypted, right? Telnet does not encrypt anything, okay? HTTP, port 80, that is just normally browsing. And then FTP is to download files, okay? So SSH, the way to remember that is, remember we were talking about the Ninja Turtles and the 212, they have hard backs on there. And now normally you'd have 2 Ninja Turtles here, 2 Ninja Turtles there. And that's how I remember SSH, because it's secure and they have hard backs. The turtles have hard backs. So try and remember that. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead to the next question, 33. What is a well-known port number used for the hypertext transfer protocol secure? HTTPS with an S at the end, not HTTP. All right, this should be easy, guys. We've been through this many, many times, and you should have also seen it on several occasions. If you haven't come across this, okay, this is the time that I'm going to tell you that the answer is 443, okay? So do not forget that, because that's going to be a question guaranteed in your exams for the A+, all right? So that is the HTTPS. What is HTTPS? That is the secured browser protocol that is used to browse the internet. And which is the one that's unsecured? Tell me. All right. Yeah, if you said A, which is 80, that is absolutely correct. 80 is also to browse the internet, but it is unsecured. And that uses what protocol? HTTP. Whereas the secure is HTTPS. All right. If you just put in HTTP in your browser, if that particular domain, which is the URL, that domain is already set up so it has some kind of security in it, okay, it will change that from HTTP to HTTPS automatically, okay? All right, let's go on to the next one. Question number 34, I beg your pardon. Log files that store all Authentication-related events in Debian and Ubuntu computers are found in which file? Authentication-related events. Where would that be? Does that give you a clue as to which one it would be? Is it the var log messages? Is it the var log boot log? Is it the var log secure? Is it the var log auth.log? What do you think? Yeah, look at the clues. All right. And that is the right answer right there. It's the authorization log. Okay. So for all events that take place with authorization, this is the log where it puts all that information in. All right. Next question. 35. We're getting to the end, guys. Which file path contains generic computer activity logs? What are we looking for? Activity logs, which is mainly used to store informational, and non-critical system messages. Would that be the var log messages, var log secure, var log kern.log, or is the var log cron? And the answer is, yeah, like it says, normal messages. That's your answer, guys. These are all directories, okay? And these are all the different files. And depending on what type of log entry is written, they are written to the specific log that it refers to. It knows that this is a non-critical error, or it may just be an informational message that will go into that particular directory. So logs are very important, especially in Linux and for troubleshooting. If you really want to see what kind of authentication was used when a person logged in, you will go to the authentication log. If you want to see what kind of information was informational, you will normally go to the messages log, okay? And these are all logs on Linux, okay? And there's plenty and plenty of logs out there. All right, next question, 36. Which type of software is employed to facilitate log monitoring due to the very large number of log entries a network can generate? Okay, what type of software is employed? Is it malware analysis tools, a log manager or log managers, network packet capture software, or a ticketing system? Well, I can tell you for sure it's not a ticketing system, okay? So if that's what you thought the answer would be, you are totally wrong, okay? So what would be the answer? And the answer is log managers, all right? Just like it says. It's a manager that handles logs, all right? That's the application. So whenever software is employed to facilitate log monitoring due to a large number of log entries that a network can generate, the log manager application would handle that, okay? All right, next question. Which basic best practice for device hardening involves restricting remote administrative access? Is it disable the USB auto detection, enforce strong passwords, use SSH and disable the root account login over SSH, or minimize installed packages? Okay, so if we're looking at remote, that's a clue. Admin access, restricting. So what do you think the answer would be? Yes, if you guessed it, we're talking about Ninja Turtles, guys. The SSH. SSH is a program that is used to hardening and to disable the root account login over SSH for secure remote administration. And that is the best practice. And why do SSH is used? Is because it is encrypted. Okay, and why would you not use Telnet? Because Telnet is not encrypted. Okay, Telnet would do the same job, but you would it's very unsafe to use Telnet. Okay, so SSH is now the replacement, which is encryption that is used to do what Telnet used to do previously. And Telnet is not used very much in the enterprise anymore. Okay. And remember, we're talking about remote access. Okay. So keep that in mind. When you see remote, that's the first thing that comes to mind, SSH. All right. Okay. Next question. So in Linux, service configuration file modification often require which step before the changes take effect? So let's go to the question again. In Linux, service configuration file modifications, service configure file modification often requires which step before the changes take effect? Is it rebooting the entire computer, restarting the service, compiling the configuration file, or changing the permissions to RWX for all users? And the answer is restarting the service. That one, guys. That's your answer. Okay, configuration file modifications. Once you change any kind of configuration, and if that is a service, it must restart it to be able to pick up the new changes to take effect. Okay. So always restarting the service would take place before it becomes, it takes cognizance of the changes that you've made. All right, next question. The Nmap, you know what the Nmap tool is? Okay, go and do a little bit of research on that if you don't know. The Nmap tool is primarily described as what type of security tool? Is it the malware analysis tool? Is it the intrusion detection system? Is it a port scanner and network mapping tool? Or is it the log manager? What do you guys say? And the answer is yes. That one, guys. Port scanner and network mapping tool. Okay. That is your answer. So Nmap is explicitly described as a port scanner. It would scan all the ports, and it will also show you the mapping tool, all the networks. Okay, so Nmap is a fantastic tool. If you're networking, okay, that's probably going to be one of the first commands and tools you're going to be using in your job. Okay, all right. If you're troubleshooting, you need to know what NetMap is as well. Okay. All right. And of course, the last question, guys. So let's have a quick look at this one. Which command, unlike PS, we had PS before, you remember, keeps displaying running processes dynamically, and it's exited by processing the Q button. So let's go through the question again. Read the question carefully. Which command, unlike PS, keeps displaying running process dynamically? So the process is updated and it refreshes. Which is the one that does the dynamic updates? Is it the kill? Is it top? Is it uname? Or is it LS? Okay, we've been through that, guys. You remember what I said? okay? PS is the stagnant one, okay? And that will do it and will give you a screenshot, a snapshot of that particular instant. But if you want it dynamically, you need to use yes, top. Go and have a look to see and try this command out in Linux, and you will see how it changes. As processes change all the time, and the priorities, and it creates new PIDs and so on and so forth. So top would be able to give you a good synopsis as to what's happening on your system. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And if you did, please, I need a thumbs up on this video so I can produce more like this, okay? And hopefully this has helped you in getting prepared for your exam. All right, good luck and wish you all the best. And don't forget, send out a comment, even if it's a bad one. I can take it. I've got broad shoulders, guys. Okay. If it's good, it's even better because I love that even better than a bad comment. Okay, so go ahead. Enjoy it. All the best, guys. Ciao.